Are you looking for the perfect book to read this winter? Well, I have picked out 6 books for you to read that are all about winter romance, and specifically because they all feature snow. Whether it's snowing outside where you are, or you just want to experience snow because where you're at, it's not snowing. These 6 books are perfect to get you right in the mood of a snowy winter night. Hey guys, I'm Francesca. Welcome back to the Under the Covers channel, and today I am going to be sharing with you some recommendations that are perfect for winter reading. I've got a little bit of everything here for you guys today. I have a Gen X romance with a tattooed and bearded hero, a historical romance with a London builder and a widowed mother, some winter sports, some Snowbound, a little bit of everything, but they all feature heavily snow in them. So these 6 romances are perfect winter reading material. I hope that you find something on this list that is exactly what you wanted for your mood right now or during this whole winter season. If you're ready for that, let's get right into the recommendations. The only common thread with all of these books is the fact that there is snow somewhere involved in the stories. So let's start with the first one, which is Come As You Are by Jess K. So this one is a contemporary romance, and it is set at a ski hill kind of resort, basically. It is a Gen X romance. So if you're looking for that vibe, both characters are more mature, like think in their 50s. So in this one, the heroine is divorced and she owns a ski hill. She's really down on her luck financially, so she's really struggling to keep paying the bills and keep her business. And a lot of that comes from a really vengeful ex-husband who's been scheming against her because he wants to buy out the mountain from her. And she obviously just wants to keep her business. So she's struggling with how to keep employees helping her and all of that. So she ends up hiring a crew of men from a sober living home. And that's kind of how her plan is for the season, to keep everything functional. They come and live there on the property because they have to maintain everything. Of course, that comes with the man that is running that sober living home, who happens to be an ex grunge rocker. So he was all about that lime life and all the bad stuff that comes with it. And he decided to step away from that years ago and just kind of like he hit rock bottom. And the way he clawed his way out of that, he's wanted to, like, he's made it his life mission to help others do the same. So he runs this sober living home, and he comes with that crew because he's got to make sure that his men are okay. And it is a really fun relationship between the two of them. She just wants no distraction, and she just wants to like put her head down and work and keep her business going. And then there's this really hot, like, he's 53, he's tatted, he's bearded, kind of rugged looking, and he's also afraid of heights and he wants to learn to ski. They have this really cute relationship at the same time, so it's a very endearing story, of course set in the snow. So it's really fun. I also really like the growth that he talks about, where he came from, what he had to go through, and where he's at, and how he's changed his life for the better, and how he's helping other people as well. So it has lots of great messages, but it's also really cute, really sweet, and also pretty steamy. So, and it is a series. There is another book in this series as well if you want to continue reading on. The second book is Snowed In by Navessa Allen. And with this one, I wanted to bring this one up because I know Navessa Allen is super popular right now. It is the same author of Lights Out. This is an older book. I think this one came out in 2020. So you can definitely tell in the writing that it's something she's written before what we're used to with Lights Out. However, it is perfect for the season. So this is set in a very small, really remote town. And it is dead in the middle of winter. There's snow everywhere. And our heroine, she's lived there her whole life, so she kind of knows the routine. Everything is kind of boring there. There's really not a lot to do. And that boring routine is just broken up by spending some time with family here and there. And that's about it as far as winter. So she gets to her uncle's house, he's got a new neighbor that he wants to introduce to her because he's new in town. He doesn't know anyone. Her uncle feels that she could help him out, just kind of keep him company and take him around and things like that. And when she gets there to meet this neighbor, turns out that she recognizes him, and it's actually an ex football player, super, super popular football player who retired after his brother had died in a horrible car accident. And pretty much nobody knows like what's happened to him. So she recognizes him immediately. She plays along the fact that like he was playing it off like he wasn't that person. So she goes along with that. And they establish this friendship where she's basically the only person that he can spend time with because he just wants to be away from everybody. He's processing a lot with what happened to his brother, plus his own issues, because this book it centers a lot around the health issues that football players can have from repeated concussions. So that is basically what had happened to his brother. And that is a potential issue that he's dealing with himself as well. So there's a lot of that medical tension going on in the storyline. And also, because of what happened to his brother, he's been dealing with his own depression and his own issues. So that's why he's in this remote town. He doesn't want anything to do with anybody, but she's the only person that breaks through and that he enjoys spending time with, even though she knows who he is. But she makes him feel like a normal person, and she is that person that he can open up with. So it really is a very sweet relationship that develops between the two of them. There's also some really adorable dogs playing in the snow, so it's really cute. It's got that cozy cabin setting, but even though it's called Snowed In, they're not actually like snowbound. So just putting that out there in case that's what it sounds like. The third book, I told myself I wasn't going to put a holiday book, but this one felt like right to mention here, and it's The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. This is a cozy mystery, but it does have a romance in it. Very light romance, but it is there. And these are two mystery authors, and they're basically rivals. So they've hated each other basically for years. And they both get invited to this other huge mystery author's Christmas party. And at the party, the big mystery author disappears and is presumed to be dead. And they're all trying to figure out what's happening. Where is she? At the same time, they get snowbound on the estate because of a huge storm that basically cuts off all the roads, while this big author also disappeared. So it does have that locked room vibe to it. And while these two have to work together to pick up the clues and figure out what happened to her, which obviously should be easy because they're both mystery authors, so they should pretty much get it right. So it is a really fun story. I mean, they're both fighting for their lives while running around through this estate in the middle of snow as well. So there's lots of that tension with a cozy mystery, a little bit more high stakes, I would say, than a normal cozy mystery, but still really, really fun. And also you're getting that small dash of romance, which I really appreciated. So this one was a super fast read, really enjoyed it. Then the fourth book that I have for you guys today is a sports romance. So this is Seduction on the Slopes by Tamsyn Parker. It is part of a whole series. So if you want to read sport, like winter sports series, this one has pretty much a little bit of everything. It is centered around the snow and ice games. So think like Winter Olympics kind of stuff. And there's, like I said, a little bit of everything. There's male-female relationships in the series. There's male-male relationships. There's even a sapphic romance in the series. So there's a little bit of everything in the series. This one is about two skiers. One of them is the more established, kind of the one that's retiring this year. This is going to be his last competition, his last games. And he basically wants to go off and win gold so that he can retire with that last thing on his resume, basically. And the younger skier is the newcomer, let's say, but he's really climbed through the ranks, and he's a very good contender for winning gold that year. But of course, there's the tension between them because being the last games, the other one wants to win it. So there's a lot of competitiveness between them. But there's also the fact that the younger guy looked up to the older guy his whole life. Like that was actually the reason he got into the sport, was looking up to this other person this his whole teenage years. And now to be able to like be in the same room together and like actually getting to know each other, there's definitely other feelings that are developing at the same time that they're still rivals and they really both want gold. So there's lots of that tension in this one, plus lots of winter sports, which is a ton of fun. And like I said, it's a whole series if you want more. The next book, it's a historical, and it's called It Happened One Winter by Christi Caldwell. This is part of a series, but you can read this as a standalone, and it's also a super short novella. So it's perfect for that end of the year if you just want something to read on like a cold winter night. It's perfect. What I really loved about this one is that it's not the regular Dukes kind of stuff. Both of our main characters are just common people. So the hero is a London builder, and the heroine is a widowed mother. So she has 3 children that she's barely making ends meet to keep the house afloat. And the hero is actually in the wilds of Yorkshire working on a build. And the reason he's there is he's basically stuck there because his business partner made a terrible decision. Now he's stuck there trying to build this home and he hates it. He doesn't want to be there. But it gets even worse when he's got these children from the house next door that keep traipsing through his construction site because they think it's like a place to come and play. So it ends up being, of course, the children of our heroine, and she is there because it's her sister's place, and they're having a house party, and she's determined that this is the place and the time where she's going to find a husband because she needs some financial stability and some security for her children. So, of course, the hero is not the kind of husband that she should be looking for because she needs to provide for her children a different kind of life according to what society expects. So it's definitely a sweet one. There's lots of cute moments with children too, if you like that kind of stuff. So really a short novella and really sweet and heartwarming. And then the last book, it's my Snowbound story. It is Snowbound by Larissa Ione. The hero of this story is an ex-Olympic, I think skier, can't remember, but he was a professional athlete, winter sports athlete, and he's basically dealt with a lot of medical issues for the past couple of years, which obviously took his career out. So he's been slowly now trying to get back into what he loved to do, which is just be out in the snow. And so he's working as a kind of like a rescuer at this resort. And the heroine, she was a manager at a radio station. And she's basically very focused on her career and just spending time at this resort. She wants nothing to do with him because he's very adventurous. They're like complete opposites from each other. She's very straight-laced and he's more wild. So they basically clash throughout this whole time that they're interacting with at the resort until she ends up getting stranded. Of course, he's coming to rescue her, and there's the middle of a winter storm, and they get snowbound. They have to seek refuge at a cabin, and they spend some quality time together there, which of course sparks other feelings that they have for each other. So this is also quite short and a lot of fun. I think that Larissa Ione usually is known more for her paranormals, but she has written some contemporaries, so you should definitely check this one out too. And there you have it. Those were the 6 books that I think should be on your TBR for this winter season. Perfect to cuddle up on a winter snowy night, whether that means that there is snow coming down outside or not. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books or if you have some favorites that I did not include that are romances that feature snow in them. I would love to add them to my list as well. I'm always looking for more recommendations, so share them in the comments down below. And as always, if you want more recommendations, don't forget to go to the blog at underthecoversbookblog.com and subscribe to our newsletter so you get all of the latest news of all the content that we post every single week. I'm going to have all of those links down in the description box down below, as well as links to the books that I have mentioned in the video today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!